When it comes to connection, few come stronger than that between a father and son. That's why I've come here to Murrayfield to meet a man who has just made his first appearance in the Scotland jersey, and his father, who just happens to be a Scottish rugby legend. Hi, big fella.
How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good. We're in the shadows of the big hoose here at the Hive Stadium. You just made your debut fairly recently, so how was it?
It was, yeah. I mean, obviously pretty gutted with the result, but it was immensely proud to put on the shirt. So I was obviously really happy with having that experience. Obviously, that's one that I've thought about for a while. So yeah, it was amazing.
When you look into the crowd, who were all there as family support?
If I name them all, I might forget some. So I think my dad's cousin Ali, my dad's auntie, loads of family friends, mum, dad, grandma, sister, and I think a few others as well. So
yeah.
Quite a few. So it was quite nice to have a lot of support down to the Hive.
And I guess your route to the Thistle. Obviously, you grew up. Your old man is a bit of a Scottish rugby legend. Or certainly he'll tell you that. No, he really is. But you were born just after he was finishing up, and certainly internationally. So, how did he introduce you to his legacy, if you like?
Well, I can't even remember, because I just remember sort of watching the Six Nations maybe in like 2008 as a young 3-year-old, and just like from then on it was sort of, I just obviously would go to the rugby club, people would know Dad, and you just sort of get to understand what he's about and stuff. Well, maybe watch a game or two of his on the old highlights, but yeah, and then that sort of just. Yeah. Word of mouth, I suppose.
There's no way he didn't relight the old VHS and get some of his.
Got a couple. I've seen a couple. There was one game versus Fiji, 2003, I've watched, because I found that somewhere with him actually.
Yeah,
that's quite interesting.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. And you were born in England, brought up with options, right? Obviously, on your mum's side, and you're probably better known as being your mum's son than Kenny's son. Obviously, Gabby is known by everybody now in the world of broadcasting. But you had options, obviously, from the Welsh side, from your mum's family, and obviously born in England, but obviously Scotland. What led you to deciding that Scotland was the option? Because you did come through the English system, having been schooled down in that neck of the woods.
Well, yeah, when you're schooled down there, it does make life easier to play for England, and well, not easier because obviously they are a good team, but it is, it makes, in terms of where things are and things like that. So I spoke to Dad about it. Obviously, I had to get his approval that I was allowed to put on a rose, even if it was just for a few times. But and he was obviously very he was like, yeah, we need to do what's best for development at this point in time. And their training camp was very near where I lived. It was 10 minutes away. So yeah, it was good for my development to be there, I think. But I always had in the back of my mind what the main goal is, which is obviously not far away.
Yeah, and it's obviously early days. You're a young man, but you're a young man with big ambitions, and you've spoken already. You've almost stopped yourself at times from talking about wanting to take the step up, but driven by a huge ambition to go as far as you can in the game, and ultimately end up in the big hoose, following your dad's footsteps, representing the senior men's team. Yeah,
I mean, every person that puts in the Thistle at any level wants to play for Scotland first, and that's the end goal, is to play on that pitch. I think there's no one's hiding that. I think, I feel like for me, seeing someone like Freddie, who's in the 20 squad now, who's already played for Scotland at 19, it really drives sort of the ambition in me, and I feel like, seeing that there could be an opportunity if I keep playing well, and over however long it takes, to get an opportunity to run out there would just be incredibly special, and pretty much my life goal. So if I can achieve that, then Well,
to follow your both parents' footsteps, of course, because your mum, an international gymnast, your dad, a Scottish rugby legend, we'll say it quietly. Absolutely, that must be the ambition that you have.
Yeah, 100%. I think that would make, for me, make my family proud as well, obviously, and I feel like that's something I wanted to do since I was a kid. So I feel like that would be. There's no bigger achievement for myself than playing for Scotland at Murrayfield.
Yeah, well, I think you've got a proud dad inside, so let's go and have a blather with him, shall we?
Yeah.
Good man. Kenny, Great to see you, big man.
Hey mate, you all right?
Back in the national changing room, we've been out having a chat with the wee man outside. But where do your emotions take you when you reconnect with the national changing room?
It's a bit different. It wasn't as smart. It was in our day. It was probably much brick painted. But this corner actually for me, I used to sit there. Gary Armstrong was there and Gregor was here, so I do remember this corner. I mean, it's quite interesting when you're in the team consistently. You come in and somebody's your corner, you need to move, and they find their spot. So I was here for a long time. It's good.
Well, you mentioned it. Your name's on the roll of honour. The legends in that number 11
good names
journey.
on there.
You must be pretty proud of your name.
Yeah, I've not been here for a while, so it's nice to see your name up. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking about pride and watching, Rueben following the footsteps in the Thistle. What have the last few weeks been seeing him make that move? Yeah,
it's been enjoyable. Obviously, previously was within England U20s. I didn't really enjoy that as much. I find it a lot easier shouting for Scotland. So it's been good, and I think he's enjoyed it. So that's the main thing.
In the Thistle, what were your emotions being on the other side of the whitewash, if you like, and seeing him, because you're an emotional guy.
Yeah, emotional. Obviously, when we were growing up, that was my dream to play for Scotland. And then, we would watch Scotland games together and we'd be arm in arm singing the national anthem at home or even going to games. So to see him singing it live, and it was emotional. It was a really proud moment for everybody in the family. Lois and Gabby. So it was a great day. The game wasn't great, but that's the way it is in rugby. You've got to we can't control those bits, but the emotion before it, I know Ruben was pretty emotional.
Yeah, I was.
But definitely it was a great family day out. As I said, with a lot of cousins there, so it was. I didn't get as many texts when he was in the England squad. Because
I guess, look, you kind of joke about it, but being based down south and for Ruben to come through schooling down there, it was the natural fit to go into the age group system where the opportunity presented itself. But it is a big shift. You are an incredibly proud Scotsman who's, you played a lot of your rugby down south, in the Premiership, winning multiple titles with Wasps, and obviously in Premiership and Europe. But for you, it must. Do you remember the phone call or the conversation that you had with Ruben for him to say, "Now's my time"?
Yeah, he spoke to me about it, and I said, "Look, they need to ask him." Within about 2 days, Waltz had phoned up and said, "Look, we want Ruben to come up." So I was obviously very proud. But that's the easy bit sometimes. We all can get invited to training sessions. You've got to deliver on the pitch and continue that, and he's doing that at the moment. So if he keeps doing that, he should go well. You can't, I think as a dad, I'm his dad, right? Obviously, yeah, similarly. Thank God we look alike. But from a point of view, his development, he's got good coaches. The development now of the amount of tech they've got, videos and constant every training session's filmed. When we played, it was a match they filmed if we're lucky. So there's a lot of analysis there for these guys now. So how much sometimes Ruben says to me, "Dad, I just want to not talk about rugby today," because you've not seen him all week and you want to find out what's going on because you understand what he's going through and the excitement.
And when it comes to, I guess, look, you'll be massively supportive when it comes to watching Ruben. How do you dial into evolving him as a player? You would have had your own coaches and critics at times. How do you approach that?
I think sometimes, the key thing when you watch your son or watch somebody, if you watch them all the time, you sort of go, "Oh man, he's walking and he should be running." But actually, if you watch another number 8, he does the same. So sometimes you get obsessed by watching them too much rather than just watching the game and see when he comes into it. Sometimes I feel that it needs to be more involved, but there's a game plan there you maybe don't know about. So I think I've just got to take a backward seat on that, and certain things I will say to him, "You need to think of this," and he'll go, "Right, Dad, I get it." And then the following week, he has actually listened. He has done these little things. So, he's definitely getting coached at Northampton and Scotland, good coaches. So that makes a big impact for him. Yeah. So I just can be his dad, right? That's important. I want to be his dad. I want to enjoy the moments with him. I don't want to be having that feeling that I'm on him all the time, but even though sometimes I'm a little bit.
Sometimes I don't think he means it. He means it out of love, but sometimes you can obviously, like you said, like when you're sort of watching a game, you should be running there, you should be running there. I was like, no matter how fit I am, I can't run, sprint everywhere all the time. But
as a dad now, having represented Scotland 70 times, and the legendary status of being on the plaque, where do your hopes and how do you manage that scenario, obviously, with your boy now?
I always say to Ruben, just go and enjoy it, because you need to enjoy what he does. You need to go out there and feel that he's free to play how he wants to play. He doesn't need the pressure of me saying to him, like, you know, and he knows I would never put that pressure on him. It's his journey, right? My journey's well gone. You know, it's history. You know, it's his opportunity now. And if he works hard, you know, he's got a great opportunity to do as well or better than I've done. And it's not about, you know, that. It's about him enjoying his journey. And because we all know being a professional sportsman is brilliant, right? It's great fun. You have great highs, you have some lows, and the key thing is try and get more highs than lows. And the opportunity he's got in front of him is amazing.
So we've got some archived photos to have a bit of a look at here. And if we look back through, you know, some of the archive here.
Yeah, 1999, that was against the All Blacks quarterfinals.
Is that Tane Randell and is that Cullen?
It was 10 was
8, Dad.
Yeah,
that was
that's
8. Tane Randell, yeah.
Now this one here, yeah, a bit of silverware.
Yeah, I mean I mean it's great to win that trophy as Tom Smith there and Gary Armstrong.
That was what,
Alan Tate. 99 was the last time we won Five Nations.
Last Five Nations.
That was amazing. I mean, we won it in Paris, and we all had to meet up the next day at Murrayfield. I think like 15,000 people turned up to get through. Because back in those days, the games were played on the Saturday. 2 games on the Saturday, 1 on the Sunday, so they couldn't give you the trophy.
Ah, right. And there you go, celebration.
Actually, I think that's Chris Patterson and Glenn Metcalf.
Yeah, Metcalf, yeah.
And I think that was my last game at Murrayfield.
Was that when you scored a hat-trick, Italy?
Yeah, against Italy. And I'd known that whole week that this was my last game. And I talked to Brushy about it. Brushy's going, don't be daft. And I went, Brian Redpath should have said, Brushy. And I said, I think this is my last week. I think I'm going to look at the head at the end of this and go to the World Cup. And he's like, really? I went, nah, come on. And then I played really well, got man of the match. And at the end of the match, I went, oh, that's it. I'm retiring. So I remember saying to, I think Andy Nichol was there. And I went, really? I went, yeah, I'm finished after the World Cup. No, I'm going to the World Cup this season. This is my last game. And I remember the following week, I was doing goal kicking with Mossy out there, and I put a kick right on the halfway line on the corner, and I kicked it and walked in, and Mossy went, oh my God, it's gone over. And that was the last thing I did at Murrayfield. So I remember that game clearly, because that week I just felt that it was time for me to retire.
There you go, Ruben.
That is not a great looking photo of that, yeah.
In the anthems.
Yeah.
First outing for Scotland 20s against Italy out there at the Hive, we were just a wonder about the emotion that you speak about.
I think I blacked out in that. I don't remember anything of that anthem. I think I was just in this sort of haze of just sort of like...
Well, you phoned me a couple of hours before and said, Dad, I'm so emotional. I can't. The emotions really got to me. I said, right, breathe for a start and just enjoy the moment and just get yourself in the right position, in the right place.
Were you in eyeline? You weren't in eyeline?
No, you probably did. I think you saw me.
You were pretty much like, sort of...
At one stage I thought your legs had gone.
I was trembling at that.
I was trembling. I thought, he really is emotional. And I hadn't seen that before.
And then here's obviously the family shot after the Italy game. Your first appearance.
That's not even ever... Some nights just didn't come down. There was too many.
There's my mum. She's 93 now.
Wow.
So it was really emotional for my mum because she'd spent all her life watching, and I said to her, do you want to come? She goes, I will be there. And she's been the last 2 games, comes through, just absolutely loves it. She loves it, just because obviously watched me playing, and she came to every Scotland game. She came to Australia to watch me for my last game for Scotland. So it was really emotional for my mum to see Ruben get his first
That's
game.
one for the mantelpiece, isn't it?
Yeah,
with Lewis and Mum and Dad. And is it Nana or is it Granny? Or?
That's Granny.
That's Granny.
Granny and Nana.
Yeah.
Granny and Nana. Great stuff. Well, former player, now dad, supporting your way to the young man. Hopefully in future years we will be able to come and meet here. Maybe you'll be allowed into post-match celebrations there, I say,
Fingers crossed,
as the legendary status to be able to come and congratulate your boy in the depths of the National Stadium.
Yeah, good luck, big guy.